Fueled by Temperance Spirits, Edmonton's leading non-alcoholic beverage provider. Order online for doorstep delivery.
Welcome back to Game Over Edmonton, your local leader in post-game Oilers analysis. In this episode, it's fueled by Temperance Spirits, the city's leading non-alcoholic beverage provider.
Visit Temperance online for a curated section of non-alcoholic options. Choose from a variety of craft beers, mocktails, wines, and spirits.
Temperance isn't just a retailer, it's a community of Edmontonians who celebrate the spirit of socializing without the need for alcohol. And with Temperance Spirits online shop, ordering your favorite non-alcoholic bevvies right to your door is as easy as Connor scoring the winning goal.
You can find our partners at Temperance online at www.temperance-spirits.com for delivery to your door, and use the code SDPN for 10% off your order at checkout.
And give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Temperance Spirits.
Let's go, Oilers fans. We're back. And that's Zach. He's back. I'm Dennis. We're back, bringing you a victory, a 6-1 game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Are you insane? Carolina is not a bad team. This isn't Washington. This isn't Anaheim. Zach, we blew out the Hurricanes.
It was such a nasty effort. I was one of the people who genuinely thought it was going to be a slow start for the Oilers. 5-day break. You've won 4 in a row. You're feeling good. You had time off. You watch your captain get inducted to the Canada Sports Hall of Fame, whatever. You thought they were going to be a tough start. Carolina is a good team, despite them having very similar goaltending problems to the Oilers this season. I thought it was going to be tough. I stayed away from betting on this game. I thought, you know what, this is one I'm not going to touch. And man, do I regret that decision, because I'm pretty sure just about every Oilers bet would have hit. Zach Hyman, hat trick, Connor McDavid, disgusting. Everyone looked good. Skinner looked unreal. Kind of a shame he didn't get the shutout. From top to bottom, this was a domination. I keep saying this consistently. Best game I've seen the Oilers play this year. Best game I've seen the Oilers play this year. One of the few games I had to miss was Washington. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how this compares to that one, and just in terms of a domination, but it felt like Carolina got nothing. Natural Stat Trick has Carolina with 13 high danger chances for this game. I don't see that at all. Besides the Jordan Staal chance, Jordan Staal breakaway, 2 or 3 chances here and there. Felt like Skinner made an amazing save right at the end of the game, but Carolina didn't get a sniff. There was back pressure to the neutral zone, everything. They didn't get a touch.
Well, this is what happens when you have a team like Carolina that just takes these super low danger shots, right? They just keep pounding it on there, trying to get something through. I mean, last year that was Calgary, right? They just could not score goals, even though they were getting all these shots in. And credit where credit due. Like you said, Skinner was good tonight. He made the big saves. He made the little saves. He made the easy ones. He had the rebound control pretty much down. His glove hand was good. Credit where credit due. He deserved the shutout. Didn't get it, unfortunately. But yeah, this was a great showing by Skinner. Great showing from the entire team, like you highlighted.
I was really upset with Skinner early on in the season. I think that's well documented. Skinner's definitely redeemed himself in my eyes up to a certain point. I am much more comfortable seeing him in net as of late. Just before we continue on, I just want to say what's up to everyone in chat, joining us late after what was supposed to be a 7:30 start. It puck didn't drop till 7:52, much to my chagrin. But whatever.
These are these are the TNT American games, man. They just need extra time for some reason. Do they have to highlight where these Canadian cities are? Is that what's happening?
It was so annoying. I sat down on the couch at 7:30, expecting 7:37, and I'm sitting there, and I started flipping to the Raptors game, and I flipped back, and I was still watching Sam Cosentino in studio. My arch nemesis, never mind. But yeah, I just want to say quickly, Breakfast Wise Guy, I want to highlight someone I saw in chat that said they were watching from London, Minister.
5:30 a.m.
Exactly. Thank you for being here on this Zach Hyman hat-trick night, who, thanks to Nick Alberga on Twitter, pointed out that Zach Hyman has passed Mitch Marner in career hat tricks, which is very nice to see. The Leafs probably should have traded one of Nylander and Marner to keep Hyman, but that's revisionist history. Is losing Zach Hyman the biggest mistake in Maple Leafs history over the last 10 years of the Maple Leafs franchise? Who knows? What a player.
Thank you, Toronto, every single day of the week for Zach Hyman. Look, yeah, let's get into the goals because there was a lot of them, and they happened so early. Like McLeod's first goal was on the first shift. McLeod was
it was like 20 seconds into the game.
He was so snake bitten, right? Like I love McLeod as a player. He's taken on more of a defensive sort of role. He's learned well from Nuge. And I was thinking, you know what? That's fine. You know, if he chips in every now and then, that's good enough. Last game, he got an empty netter from Winnipeg. And then now he's got his first goal or his second goal 20 something seconds into the game. Insane Fogle rushdown. Like Fogle was able to use his JoJo stand or whatever it was to just knock that puck free, and a beautiful pass over to McLeod for a tap in. Easy peasy.
Yeah, the linesman waves off the icing. Fogle gets in a really hard forecheck, which he's really effective at. And you know what? The puck, you just see the confidence on McLeod. You weren't sure how the empty net goal was going to affect him. You know, sometimes it's, that was easy, whatever, and they kind of go back to being snake bitten. But no, that just lucky bounce almost that McLeod got today was not something that he was getting in the first 23 games. And like what you said, taking on more of a defensive role, because Ryan McLeod has definitely taken on some heat this season, right? Like you expect a certain level of offense from him. He's paid to produce something offensively, you know, whether it's once every 3 games, put an assist and a goal, once every 2 games, ideally. I think his ceiling, like I still believe his ceiling is something of he could potentially get a 45, 50 point guy. Like he has all of the tools. He has all of the tools. He's fast. He has good hands. And you saw him just with that confidence later in the game. And I know the shots were still going over the net, but just the way he was carrying the puck into the zone, challenging the Canes defenseman, ripping a shot on net, some went wide, somewhere a good save by Antti Raanta. Antti Raanta played really well after Peter Kochetkov I played horrible.
He had a bad night, and his night was not very long. And let's get into it. One more word on McLeod from me. I love, like you said, he was just ripping shots. And when you don't score for a while, that mental effect of, yeah, maybe I'll just pass it off, right? Like Fogle, he's also been just this huge buzz guy. He started the year well, and then he just has petered off a little bit with McLeod and Fogle together. I really, really love the energy from those guys. They're both hilariously fast guys. And I mean, Swoosh is pointing it out in chat. McLeod has a great hockey smile as well. You just love to see guys like that succeed, right? And we'll get to Fogle's goal later, but we don't have to go very far away from McLeod's goal for another one.
Oh, yeah, exactly. 97, looking like 97, looking like the best player in the world, dices up the Canes. Beautiful pass to Ekholm. The second fastest start in like Oilers franchise history. It's 2-0 after 48 seconds. And again, just like the work, the Oilers were dominating shift after shift. I think right after this goal, the Draisaitl line came out and had another couple good chances, right? Kane, Brown, Draisaitl, they looked good, even though they didn't get on the score sheet in a 6-1 game. That was vintage 97. Another 3 points for him tonight. He's climbing up the scoring race. If I'm a team in first, I would be scared of the Oilers because there are a lot of defining moments we've kind of pointed out over this 5-game win streak, whether it be a Draisaitl one-timer on the power play, whether it be McDavid getting the 3 games in a row with essentially 4 points. There's been a lot of defining moments. And I know we're not at this point yet, but like, tell me that the luck has not changed, that the tide has not turned when you see Warren Fogle scoring a breakaway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you mentioned the Ekholm goal again. Yeah. I wanted to quickly comment on that because you're right. Vintage McDavid, but also that was off of a face-off. And McDavid took it. He was behind the net. Again, in the past, NHL players used to, well, why would you be behind the net? Like, behind the net, you can't score from there. But McDavid, he is able to generate from anywhere. Even if he's behind the net, you got to chase after the guy because he can just go for a little button hook. All of a sudden, gets the puck to Ekholm, who's across the crease from him. There was no chance for Kochetkov on that one either. And again, like you said, there's something about this team now where they just have a bit of more jump. McDavid's back into form, and Bouchard also contributed on that goal as well. He has had a great night.
he's looking like a Norris Trophy winning defenseman, and just like on the 2-0 goal where he plays a pivotal role, the 3-0 goal, that was a beautiful effort from Zach Hyman, right? Just a dogged determination. The Canes defense, it was 3-on-1 at one point. No one could get the puck off him. But you know who got that puck to Zach Hyman? Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard, an amazing effort to keep the puck in at the blue line. He dances at the blue line with the puck on a string. I don't think there was had a defenseman who could do that since Chris Pronger.
Oh, yeah. Like, Bouchard, he's taken flack, obviously, in the past. And I think some of that is not, it's not unjust. He is a player who will generate on the offensive side of the ice. And when you see stuff like that, it wasn't just one exit denial. Bouchard was able to stop an exit denial, hold the zone for a while. He danced through the middle area, almost down into the slot area, and then pass it off. There was another turnover, another exit denial by Bouchard. He danced across the line, and then, like you said, finds its way to Hyman, and Hyman just the hands. I think it was Pesce who just had an awful night.
It was Pesce and Slavin. They were munched by the Oilers. The Oilers munched them.
Awful night. That was the last goal for Kochetkov, a 500 save percentage, 3 goals on 6 shots.
And really outside of the McLeod goal, I don't blame him for 2 or 3. And I know I kind of hate shit on people who do this for the Oilers, but realistically, that was a domination. The Canes did not make life easy on Pyotr Kochetkov whatsoever. The Oilers were toying with them. This was the most, and Carolina scares me just because it feels like the Oilers, similar to Minnesota, just always lose to Carolina. And I was so surprised the way they came out, the way they dominated up until this 3-0 point. The Carolina didn't get a sniff. It was almost like they would dump it in, and immediately their whatever kind of possession, whatever kind of momentum they had was stifled by a Ekholm, by a Bouchard, by a Nurse, by a Cece. The Canes could create nothing. Somehow they outshot the Oilers in the first period, 16-11. The king of the garbage shot. I don't know where these expected goals they generated from came from. Where? From a Brent Burns point shot through 3 people into an unscreened Stuart Skinner? How?
Yeah. Looking at the shot map, it was actually such garbage attempts from the Hurricanes for most of that first period. And yet, like you said, they came out on top for some reason, 16 shots to 11. I took note of that. I was like, hey, I'm a little bit worried here. With the Oilers, we've seen in the past games slip away, but this was no such thing happening. The one defensive highlight as well, like you said, the defensemen did all of their jobs really well. Another defensive highlight I saw was just the forwards coming back and back checking. Dreisaitl's back checking this game was great. He didn't get much going offensively tonight. Not what we normally want to see from Draisaitl, but
partially because of his line mates.
Yeah, we'll talk about the big B in a little bit, but the amount of back checking from the forwards in this game, I think, stifled a lot of the Carolina breakouts, whether that be in the neutral zone, whether that was just early on the entry into the Edmonton zone. The Canes just could not hold the puck long enough or make a play off of that first entry. And a lot of that came back from the pressure of a guy coming back and breathing down your neck.
That pressure that you're talking about, it's a big change in the Oilers of Woodcroft to the Oilers of Knobloch, and I think where it's really, really noticeable is when you see a Bouchard or even a Cece or a Nurse, whoever, make that offensive play that it seems like Paul Coffey's pushing them to play, and you see the effort and you see the tenacity that the forwards are skating back to stop those what were 2-on-1s earlier in the season, turning them into 2-on-2s and essentially making them not dangerous, right? I can think of a number of occasions this game, whether it was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, just all stood out to me on different occasions, just moving their legs in the neutral zone, getting back, putting pressure on the Canes forwards, and not allowing Carolina to create anything. When you make them make plays faster, no one's as skilled as the Oilers. The Oilers can make plays under pressure, but these teams, if you just play with that structure and that force and that defensive effort that is just integral, you will be able to more often than not win those games because you can create more than the other team. Just before we continue on, there is like 60 people watching. I just want to say quickly, I haven't said it yet, hit like, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 100,000. We really appreciate every like and subscribe. Helps us keep growing, helps us build the channel. And yeah, Dennis, how about that fourth goal?
Look, like the fourth goal, again, it was just a beautiful play from Bouchard defensively, recovering that puck, getting it to McDavid. The vision from Bouchard, right? Like that is one of the great things about this player. And I mentioned it earlier, you can rag about some of his other stuff, but on that defensive play, it was beautiful. He made the breakout to McDavid beautifully. Nuge goes in 2-on-1 and Hyman just rips that one-timer. It's a beautiful goal. And at that point, right, like you start looking at this game going, hey, this is a runaway freight train. It was like 15 minutes or something like that. This is a runaway freight train. And when the Oilers are up like this, in the past, they have slipped. But the way that they looked, the way that they were playing on the ice, it looked like from 15 minutes into this game, the Oilers just had it. Like that was it. The Canes were not coming back.
Absolutely. It's funny you pointed out because when they do get up really high early like this, you do tend to see those mistakes slip into your game. You know, they don't want to run up the score or whatever that means. You don't want to make the other team look stupid. I'm really curious to see whether or not Rod Brindamore brought something up about the first power play unit being on in a 6-1 game with like 5 minutes left. But yeah, that 4-0 goal was great. Like you said, runaway freight train. That was a tic-tac-toe. And then the worry kind of starts to slip in your game is Michael Bunting draws a trip from Zach Hyman. Hyman, no argument, right to the box. But Oilers kill. Since they let that one goal against Vegas, outstanding.
Yeah, and again, the penalty kill was outstanding, like you mentioned. Nuge even had a breakaway on shorthanded.
Beautiful move to create that breakaway, by the way. I couldn't believe that he was able to even get a shot off.
I think the fact that the Oilers penalty kill was bad, and something about the change in Knobloch, something about maybe
Mark
it has
Stewart.
Yeah, like something about this team has transitioned to allow this. Like, what are they now? Like 1 against Vegas in like 23, 24?
I think they're 23 for the last 24 kills. They're looking real good. And you know what? Like we can point to Mark Stewart and the changes that they made structurally. At the end of the day, it's the same personnel. And you know what, to me, the biggest key to the penalty kill is because remember, think back to Dave Tippett. Under him, the Oilers had a really good penalty kill. And then it kind of fell off after that. Do you know what the biggest key to me is? Simply, you're getting shorthanded saves. Skinner, now they weren't insanely tough saves. They're probably all pucks that you expect him to stop, but you know what? That's his job. He did it perfectly. He wasn't letting out rebounds into the slot. He was covering up any chance the Canes were able to generate. And over this last stretch of games since Knobloch took over, any chance that any opposition has been able to generate on the power play at the end, whether you're creating offensively on the penalty kill, whether you're in the lanes, whether you are suppressing shots and making it hard for the other team to create, you're just getting the saves. That's the biggest difference.
Has to be the goalie has to be your best penalty killer. And again, you're so correct on the money. Like the rebound control, that was one of the big issues we had. Campbell didn't have the rebounds. Skinner didn't have the rebounds early. There was just a huge issue there, but it was amazing today. Like if there was a rebound, it dropped pretty close in front of Skinner and he was able to pounce right on it. He knew where it was going to be. And if you're getting goaltending, everything else looks so much better on the ice. And it's fine if Brent Burns takes a shot because Stuart Skinner was able to see everything. Another thing I noticed was the Oilers were allowing Skinner to see a lot more of these shots.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot less traffic in front. There were, maybe it's Carolina's play style.
Yeah,
I don't
was
watch
going
a lot
to
of
say,
Hurricanes hockey.
I feel like, well, yes, the Oilers defended exceptionally tonight. I want to say that the Canes, when they go and watch the footage, they're gonna say, okay, why was there no one in front of Skinner? Why were we not in the crease? Why were we not banging and crashing? Why were we not creating havoc and second chance opportunities? Because they did none of that tonight. But yeah, like you talked about the mistakes creeping in, we kind of got worried going into the second intermission up 4-0. I was worried that they come out sloppy, but once again, first shift of the game.
Do you want to talk about what happened in the first intermission?
With
Brindamore?
Oh, sure, yeah, you could say it, yeah.
I mean, we heard it from MGD in chat. Again, this was so funny. It made its rounds on hockey Twitter. Rod Brindamore was talking to Darren Pang when they were coming back from the first intermission, and I love seeing this dude has tormented Oilers fans since the 06 Cup run, right? And I love seeing him come on screen on national TV and say, we're on our way to losing 50-0 at this point. Like, our team is brutal. You could tell he wanted to swear. He probably called his entire team dog shit in the locker room. But
oh yeah,
he just had no answer. He's like, I don't know what to do. This team's not doing a jack shit right now. Like, we weren't ready to start. Like, the second period, as you mentioned, starts, and immediately a great block by Janmark busts out Warren Foegele on the breakaway.
Amazing move to create the breakaway. Again, that inside-outside, I believe, is on Chatfield, and just keeps skating. He's such a powerful skater and just jams the puck in, because Warren Foegele, whatever he does on the breakaway, doesn't seem to work. Jams the puck home on Antti Ranta, and the Oilers are up 5-0.
It just works, man. Crash the net, just push it in there if you have to. And again, Foegele sometimes just looks like Connor McDavid. Like, if you closed your eyes a little bit and you just saw that 3 turn into a 9, no one would blame you, because damn, Foegele does have so much speed when he skates. He just has to keep his legs moving. And this is contract year Warren Foegele. Like, are we gonna re-sign Foegele next year?
No.
Who knows? Like,
Probably
he's gonna have to
not.
take a discount.
I think he will. I think this is probably the biggest contract he'll ever get. But I think after this goal, it kind of died down. I think the Oilers at one point, like halfway through the second period, only had like 3 shots. Carolina was kind of pushing a lot of shots from the outside, weren't generating much. 97 looked like he was creating. Hyman almost got a hat trick. There were a couple good chances for the Oilers. They were kind of missing the net. It was just kind of a. It was kind of okay, we're up and the other team has absolutely no juice kind of period. And it just, like, I felt like the game it just got really sleepy almost.
Yeah, at this point, it was just kind of going through the motions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the fear. If the Hurricanes push back at this point, right, when it's 5-0, that's when you might see, again, 1 or 2 quick goals. Suddenly everything shifts. The Oilers start backpedaling a little too much. They start making 1 or 2 defensive mistakes. Skinner maybe lets in 1 bad bouncer, 2 bad bouncers, something like that. But it didn't happen. No. The Oilers still got their chances. They still pushed. They were still playing in the O-zone, but they weren't getting
smart
much.
hockey.
Yeah,
they were. Their priority was to not allow Carolina to get anything versus not creating as much for themselves. Obviously, they're not completely just hanging back, dumping in, and stacking the red line, but they were playing smart. I mean, they at one point, Vinny and Kulak in the defensive zone they were caught chasing. They take a penalty. I'm still confused. The broadcast confused me. I believe it was Vincent Desharnais who ended up taking a cross-checking penalty. Yeah. Again, kill it off. Skinner, excellent. Kill looks excellent. And you kind of just move on to the third period there. Like, there wasn't
Kulak
much
blocked
going
the shot.
on. Exactly.
That's it. Like, that was the penalty kill. Oh, good.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. And then kind of in that game, right? Like in the third period, the Oilers come out. They are generating, it felt like, a little bit more chances in that period, but it also felt like when they were now Carolina early on in the game, honestly, like, usually I'm the first one to come out and say, oh, the Oilers deserved a power play. The Oilers deserved a power play, but Carolina wasn't working hard enough to take penalties. Like, they weren't trying to hold, they weren't slashing. There were maybe a few points early on. Then there was one shift in the third where it looked like McDavid just buzzing, could not get the puck off of him. And it looked like Carolina committed 2 penalties separately on 2 different instances on that play. McDavid wanted the call. They don't get it, and Carolina immediately goes the other way and scores. It was kind of unfortunate, breaks the shutout bid. Jordan Staal, who probably was the Canes' best forward in my eyes tonight.
I mean, like, this game was one where you saw a lot of action in front of the net because the Oilers did it. The Hurricanes realized their long shot sort of play wouldn't work. So the players that are more used to that crash and bang style, get in front of the net, just they started running Skinner, right? Like at some points they were just crashing into Skinner. They were just bowling him over. This is a bid almost to get a little bit more out of the defenseman, maybe draw some penalty, get on the power play, get one to get the team going. But it didn't work. The Oilers stayed calm. I mean, Skinner obviously didn't like getting run over, but he didn't overreact. He didn't use his blocker to stuff anyone into the ice. And it was just a bad cover by Brown, and Brown did not have a good night. Like, this was not one out of all the Oilers that played tonight. Almost everyone was good. Connor Brown,
I thought he scored later on in the game. I was sure that the horn was going to go when Kane created that chance and Brown almost puts in the rebound, and you see the puck just kind of float and flip right over his stick, and he ends up hitting the crossbar. Honestly, such an unlucky bounce. What an unlucky season. Obviously, has he been great? No. Also been really unlucky. I'm just essentially what we got to hope for is that there is a player there. He'll slowly come along, and maybe by game 50 or game 60, he's not going to get 40 points this year, but maybe by game 50 or 60, we'll kind of see him pick up the pace and be ready into the playoffs.
Fingers crossed. Like, those are dangerous words to say, but we are getting close to 500. You know,
2 games under 5. They were 2-9-1 at one point. Now they're 10-12-1.
10-12-1. Yeah.
How the tide has changed. How the turns have tabled. How all this is just crazy. I mean, we should touch on the last goal real quick here right before, but yeah, Zach Hyman gets the hat trick. A beautiful move by Connor McDavid. What else do you expect? Another 3-assist night. Hyman puts in the hat trick, and yeah, the Oilers end up walking it home, winning the game 6-1. They did put the first power play unit out later.
This is the McDavid. That was the McDavid pressure, right? Yeah. When you see McDavid steal a puck off of a guy, deke another defender, and then you just have 2 guys who their instinct is, I gotta cover that dude. They're not communicating in that instance. Connor McDavid's rushing down the net. So you just start drawing players, and McDavid just has the hands and the vision to make that pass over to Hyman. Again, if it was 99 other players, they probably can't get that done, right? That's a top tier type of play that only pretty much McDavid can do. And now Hyman, he gets his hat trick. That's his 3rd one, as you mentioned. Zach might be frozen here, so I'll hold it down for now. Looks like Hyman's just an incredible contract, right? Like, you started when Toronto ended up saying, you know what, we're gonna move on from Zach Hyman. It's just too much money. We can't do it. Man, the Oilers just capitalized so well. They have now, a 3-time career hat trick scorer, and Hyman he's a dogged player. He will crash into the boards if he needs to. He will gut it out. It doesn't matter. Hyman gets the job done. Again, the hope is that he stays far away from any injuries. Shoutouts editor in Leaf, says ridiculous Nico. Exactly. Everyone loves that tweet. Hyman's contract is the worst in league history. Yeah, right. To close off the game, it was pretty bleh. Like, Kotkaniemi ends up holding McDavid. They didn't even really need to send the Oilers' first power play. Obviously, they ended up bringing it out. The second power play unit got their first crack at it, took about a minute off of it. And now the Oilers, you have this opportunity. You've been off the ice for a little while, and looks like Zach is out for the night. So we'll just close it off here. Zach did not get raptured. the Oilers' first unit power play, right? Do you have to send them out? It's a 6-1 game. I get it. But if you don't do this, the Wild are coming up. That's another team that the Oilers have had trouble with in the past. They did play an awful game against the Wild last time. So you really, really want to test that power play. They've been off for 5 days. So they get out there. They kind of get a couple of attempts, but that was it, right? Like they didn't generate anything off of it. And I think, at that point, they weren't going to push too hard. It was a 6-1 game. Zach is back, right. So we are switching back into the dual camera. Welcome back, Zach.
Yeah,
I was just mentioning.
My Wi-Fi completely, Adam Erne took out my Wi-Fi.
Adam Erne with a hit job on Zach's Wi-Fi.
I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi just restarted completely. That was very weird. Never had that happen before.
I got good, man.
I like all the theories and comments about what happened to me. That's pretty funny. Good work, guys. Keep it up. Hit like. Really appreciate it.
Hey, we keep it rolling on this show, man. I was just mentioning, the decision to send out the first unit power play towards the end of the game on that Kokaniemi holding call. Some people might not like it, but it's been 5 days. You know what?
Run it up, baby.
Send them out.
Fucking 8-1, 8-2. You literally go cry me a river. If the Oilers were losing, I let the other team run up the score. You'll never hear a bad word from me. You'll never hear me say, oh man, those assholes. It was up 5-1 with 6 minutes left in the third period, and they put out their first power play unit. No, if you're winning, you're winning. You know what the Oilers can do? Play better. You know what the Canes should have done in this game? Play better. Don't put yourself in the position, you losers. If you whine about any of that, I remember Dean Evison did it once. I remember Paul Maurice doing it. It's the biggest loser baby thing to care about. Fucking go out. Connor McDavid, I wanted 4 points. I wanted a Leon goal tonight. I wanted to see it so bad, but I love it.
I was going to mention, I don't think the Oilers' first unit was really trying that hard. They were zipping it around. It looked great, but it got to Leon. He couldn't get the shot off, or it got blocked or something. And he just puts a backhand, just a little floater in there. That got blocked or didn't get all the way through or made a save. No one cares at that point because it's pretty much the game is over. After the first period, the Hurricanes just considered this game over. They never really had much more fight beyond that stall goal. Gagne and Kulak late in the game go 2-on-1, and it's weird to say. Kulak has the skates, right? He's got the boots, but one of the big questions about Gagne coming back was his speed. And it went off his skate. I mean, he skated hard late into the game. I think that qualifies him to say, you know what? Gags is fine. Leave him. He deserves time in the lineup when he was out for those 2 games or whatever. I think Adam Erne didn't do a whole heck of a lot better. Maybe he did a better job killing your internet than playing hockey.
All the theories in the comments, I don't know. Everyone's making me laugh. I'm having a tough time focusing on what you're saying about Sam Gagne. Oh man, but who took out my internet? Was it Jack Campbell? Was it was Adam Erne? Oh, I don't know. Kudos to you guys. Very funny.
Are you Adam Erne in a Zach costume?
Yeah, I've been replaced. It's like that. What's that Jordan Peele movie? Us. It's not the real me. That's pretty funny. Oh man, yeah. But let's just ask for if anyone's got any press conference questions.
We'll do some press conference. I know it's a late night. It's 11 o'clock already. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. It's one of these December games. We're starting to get into the drums of the season, but the Oilers continue to climb. They're trying to get to 500, 2 more games, and then we're there. If you like this show, it supports us. Yeah. It supports the SDPN.
I cannot believe we are 2 games away from 500. Man, when they were 2-9-1, I honest to God thought they were getting the first overall pick. Everything was over. That just goes to show you never bet against Connor McDavid. You never bet against Leon Draisaitl. You never bet against Evan Bouchard. You never bet against Zach Hyman, who leads the team in goal scoring. Now, here's my question to everyone in chat and to you, Dennis. At the end of the season, does Zach Hyman lead the Edmonton Oilers in scoring or in goals?
Ooh, you know what? That is a tough one. Obviously, he has 15 right now for the team lead, if I remember correctly.
Is it not 16?
Is it 16 off of that third
I don't know.
goal?
I don't know.
15,
I seem
16.
to always mess up the
But here's the thing, right? I'm
15.
thinking 15.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, right? And McDavid, he's back. I think his skating is looking back to vintage McDavid. His hands are great. His vision is looking amazing. But he's been doing a lot more of this pass first mentality again. I think McDavid's gone back to his roots. I mean, I don't think we're getting 60 again this time from McDavid. So I have a feeling that McDavid isn't going to contest, and Leon is still super snake bitten. Like, it is no longer early in the season. Like, if Leon, he can turn it up. I will never bet against Connor and Leon. But at the same time, I have a feeling that Hyman will be able to hold on. Now, if that's the case in the playoffs, we might have some problems. But
yes,
I trust McDavid. I trust McDavid and Draisaitl will go Super Saiyan in the playoffs.
I trust that. Yeah, like, it's fun to sit here. Oh, Evander Kane, will Zach Hyman lead the Oilers in scoring? And well, honestly, if Hyman keeps finishing the way he is, like, there is a distinct possibility. But I like that you pointed out that McDavid looks like he's thinking a lot more pass first, because McDavid, just if you remember last year on that flank, on the power play, just firing the puck. Even this game, he definitely created some shots for himself, and it felt a lot more shot heavy per se than, the first half of the season did, but not to the extent that he was last year when he scored 63 goals. He is not shooting the puck even close to that. And I think that's a level that he can and will get to as he continues to get healthy, because, McDavid was injured. I still don't think he is exactly 100%. I truly don't. I think he will continue to get better as the season goes on. Obviously, like you said, if/when they make it to the playoffs, it'll be a different story with those two. But there is a real possibility Zach Hyman leads the Edmonton Oilers in goals this year, which is absolutely insane. Insane. I believe over the last calendar year, he's scored he's on pace for 44 goals in a season or something. Yeah. Just unreal production. One of the best free agent signings of all time. Unreal player.
Just such a great guy in the community as well. They really, really lucked out being able to sign Zach Hyman. We're going to start winding down the show now. It's getting a little bit late. We've had our technical troubles. We've bounced back from them. Zach, next show is going to be a little bit different. It's going to look a little bit different. It's not Avery. It's not me. It's not you.
Not me. No.
Next game is Friday. Puck drops at 7 Mountain against Minnesota. We're going to have a guest host, Clay from Game Over Vancouver, is going to be taking over for us. You don't want to miss this one. See what his opinions are on the Oilers. You hear from us all the time, every show. But you know what? Sometimes a fresh perspective helps a lot. And I'm so interested in seeing what Clay has to say.
Oilers fans are going to love him. Clay is an awesome guy. Clay is a professional. He's done it longer than all of us combined here. He just pumps out content for the Canucks. If you're not subscribed to Canuck Clay, that's his YouTube channel. I'm going to be, once I get out of my exam, that's the first thing I'll do is turn on Game Over Edmonton. How could the University of Calgary schedule an exam on an Oilers game night? Just the absolute disrespect. I couldn't believe it. But I appreciate Clay for helping us out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be super fun. Again, Clay's such a professional. I don't think he'll have any internet problems. He's going to have a better camera. He's going to look better than the two of these ugly mugs. So definitely tune in on Friday post-game after Minnesota. That's it for tonight's show. Zach, where can they find you?
You can find me at ZWill97 on Twitter. And Dennis, where can they find you?
You can find me at Dennis Lee YEG. That's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching once again. Click like, subscribe to the SDPN, and if you're listening to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, leave us a review. It all helps. It all gets us closer and closer to that elusive goal of being the SDPN media empire.
Exactly. But yeah, that's it.
Have a good night, everyone. Take care, and Clay, we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, let's play La Bamba, baby.
Play La Bamba, baby. Good night.
Yeah!